All right, let's jump right into this explainer designed specifically for you CPA bar candidates out there. Today, we're tackling a seriously critical topic that bridges the gap between high-level boardroom brainstorming and actual day-to-day operations. We're going to explore exactly how we translate corporate strategy into measurable performance using something called the balanced scorecard. If you've ever wondered how a company actually tracks if its grand plans are working beyond just, checking the bank account, well, you're in the right place. There's this foundational business truth. An entity cannot manage what cannot be measured. Traditional financial reporting is obviously incredibly important, right? But inherently, it's totally backward looking. It just tells you what happened yesterday. To build real, sustainable value for the future, we have to embrace the philosophy that you absolutely need non-financial metrics to manage the business effectively. So here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, the problem with profit. Second, aligning strategy and metrics. Third, the 4 BSC perspectives. Fourth, anatomy of a scorecard. And finally, number 5, a classic exam trap, KPIs versus the BSC. Kicking things off with Section 1, the problem with profit beyond short-term goals. Think about it. Relying purely on short-term financial considerations simply does not guarantee long-term value creation. In fact, an obsession with immediate profit can actually destroy a company's future. And that is exactly why the Balanced Scorecard, or BSC, exists. It's a framework that explicitly balances those non-financial and long-term considerations right alongside the traditional financial and short-term numbers. The whole objective here is to bridge that gap and emphasize longer-term value creation across the entire organization. Now, here's a quick coaching tip to really lock this concept in for exam day. Just remember this simple phrase: balancing the short-term cash with long-term creation. If you keep that core balance in your mind, cash today versus creating value for tomorrow, you're going to intuitively understand the questions you face on the exam. Moving right along to Section 2, aligning strategy and metrics, aligning the scorecard. Listen, a balanced scorecard isn't some generic one-size-fits-all template. No way! It has to be completely customized to a company's specific strategy. Consider this mini scenario. An entity's unique strengths fundamentally dictates its scorecard objectives. If a company competes using a cost leadership strategy, their scorecard has to focus heavily on things like internal efficiency and scrap production. But if a competitor uses a product differentiation strategy, they want to be the most innovative, their scorecard will completely shift focus toward new patents, R&D, and premium product features. The strategy always dictates the metrics. All right, Section 3, the 4 BSC perspectives, the classic framework. Acting as the ultimate foundation for communicating strategy throughout an organization, there are 4 classic perspectives you simply must memorize: financial performance, customer service, internal business process, and learning and growth. Literally every single metric a company tracks on its scorecard is going to fall into one of these 4 buckets. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is the logical, bottom-up flow between these 4 perspectives. They aren't just sitting there in isolation. It starts at the bottom with a competent, innovative workforce. That's your learning and growth. That well-trained workforce drives highly effective internal processes. Those smooth processes then result in highly satisfied customers. And finally, those happy customers are what ultimately lead to financial achievement. It's literally a chain reaction of value creation. Within those perspectives, management uses 2 distinct types of indicators, and you absolutely need to know the difference. Lagging indicators are your output and financial measures. They're like looking in a rearview mirror, telling you what has already happened, like last month's revenue. Leading indicators, on the other hand, are your non-financial measures, like customer satisfaction scores or repeat business, which help predict future financial performance. By mixing lagging financial indicators with leading non-financial ones, management can actually see if short-term cost cuts, like, say, slashing the customer service budget to boost quarterly profit, are secretly destroying long-term customer loyalty. Let's break this down further in Section 4, anatomy of a scorecard, mechanics of the BSC. Operating this framework day-to-day actually requires a very linear action plan from management. It flows all the way from broad strategic purpose down to highly targeted actions. First, you align with the strategy. Then, define your critical success factors, or CSFs. Next, establish the exact measures and targets. After that, you track the actual outcomes. And finally, step 5, if you miss the target, you launch corrective initiatives.
Let's put some real-world context to those steps, right? Let's say in the customer service perspective, our critical success factor is customer satisfaction. Well, how do we measure a feeling? The measure becomes an excellent grading system. The target is strictly set by management. Let's say 95% of customers must rate us excellent. Then the outcome tracks our actual performance against that 95%. If we only hit 90%, we have a gap. And that gap triggers our final step, the initiative. Management has to immediately identify specific actions to train staff and pull that score back up.
And that brings us to Section 5, Exam Trap, KPIs versus BSC. Know the difference. Now, I really want to offer a quick coaching moment here because candidates fall into this trap all the time on the bar exam. People often confuse these two concepts. Think of it this way. Key performance indicators, or KPIs, are simply the vital metrics or benchmarks. Things like defects per million or customer satisfaction percentage. They're incredibly important, sure, but on their own, they're just numbers. The true balanced scorecard, however, is distinguished by its deep integration with the overall corporate strategy. A scorecard uses KPIs, absolutely, but it links them across those 4 perspectives we talked about to communicate and implement one singular, unified strategy across the entire organization. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to really solidify why all of this matters. If your short-term financial profit is soaring, but your leading non-financial indicators, like customer satisfaction and employee morale, are absolutely crashing, what does the balanced scorecard reveal about your company's true future? Well, it reveals that those short-term profits are basically an illusion, and long-term disaster is looming. Understanding this balance between financial reality and non-financial measures is absolutely critical, not just for passing the CPA exam, but for actually succeeding in the boardroom. Keep this framework in mind, and you're going to do great.